All right. So I posted the questions I used for my teacher questionnaire above this link. And I interviewed two high school teachers that taught various grades in the high school, and a middle school teacher who did 7th and 8th. And a few were done by email. One was actually done in person at the food cooperative without my notes. So I never really had access to a school for this module, which made the assignments a little more difficult and probably a little less fulfilling. But nonetheless, I did learn a lot, and I've been reading other people's stuff. But to the point, so as far as tech in the classroom went, all the teachers use Chromebooks. Kids do their homework on the Chromebooks, check their grades, submit assignments. I'm always concerned about the digital divide, access to the internet off campus, because in this age that could really affect a student's that could really affect a student's grades and self-esteem, enthusiasm for school. At the high school, there was no issue with that. I think that's because it's a very small charter school, and while there is equal opportunity to attend the school, in reality only really motivated students from families that have plenty of internet at their house ever go there. So I'm not sure if that would really be true in the standard high school. In the middle school, where there's a 53% socioeconomic disadvantage among students, I had the teacher tell me, yes, in fact, some students do not have enough internet access at home and can fall behind, and so he tries to provide opportunities for them to make up on that. As far as learning about new technology, that was a great idea. I took that question right from Scott. I hadn't thought of it, and I think it's really important for me to learn as someone who's not steeped in technology and has no teaching experience. They all did their own research. Both schools had like a community pool, where they would all contribute their research, whether it's just verbally, on a coffee break or at a school website, or even a bulletin board I saw where someone pinned up a new thing they found tech-wise. So it was very collaborative and personally, and had a lot of personal motivation. As far as advantages, they all said, yeah, it's really efficient to use various technologies. Oh, I should name. I know, well, anyhow, they all said yes. It helps them. It helps them be more effective teachers because they can move around and help the students while they're working on their computers. And I forgot to get organized for this. So things that were used that I learned about were Kahoot is a program that it's actually my son's high school teacher uses, and they do like Jeopardy quizzes. It's a site that has like Jeopardy style quizzes. So kids can compete, which gives them motivation to succeed and win and all that good stuff. And then of course everyone uses slides. Most people, it seems, use the Google slide format at this point. So PowerPoint, and then Smartboard is used. The electronic whiteboard another person uses. Paradeck, I guess, is a site where you can have slides and the kids can answer questions through their Chromebook to however it's being projected. So those were some of the and 3D printers. I had a science teacher tell me he was really into 3D printers. So those are some of the technological things that I found out these teachers were using. As far as disadvantages. They all said the exact same thing. They will need to monitor that the kid behind the laptop is not actually playing video games or looking at memes on, I guess these kids don't use Facebook, but Instagram. And so that's what I learned through my somewhat incomplete teacher interviews. As I said, I just didn't have access to the classroom, unfortunately. Consequently, I did not have access to a lesson plan. I just flipped my notes by accident, but I did look over the lesson plan you left a link to, and it was about the French. Oh boy, I just turned the page by accident. It was about the French regions, finding French regions, and you know, I'm not serious. I don't really feel qualified to make suggestions. I have no experience in the classroom. Perhaps all I could suggest is incorporating more than one type of technology, because it seems like what this teacher in this lesson plan was using was something called Moodle, which was really fascinating to learn about. And I think by using this program, he or she, I'm not sure the teacher is, really is meeting the ISTE standards, you know, because like global collaboration being a big one, and this is an open sourced technology that students can use, and they can see what people from around the world have done and contributed. And further, you know, the student itself can give feedback to answers on there, or if they see an unanswered question, they can put the answer in, which I think is great, which leads right to empowering the learner, making him a digital citizen, you know, as far as more ISTE standards go. And I also thought that it was great. They're very careful that they don't get duped, as they say. So they really have them research the sites that the information is coming from, which, you know, lends to the research and fluency aspect of the ISTE standards. So yeah, I think that's my project for now. As I said, I didn't have access to a classroom, and it made it a little more challenging, but I definitely still got a lot out of it. Okay, great. Thank you.